Alright, another week, another video. It's hard to believe, but after this week, we are halfway through the regular season. So, if your area, region games haven't started already, they should be picking up pretty soon. So, a lot of games have a lot of important implications, so we need to make sure we are on the ball. Alright, so I almost hesitate to show this because it's one of those things, it's one of those rules where there's the rulebook definition and there's the way we need to officiate it. So, assisting the runner. The rulebook says, you can't push the runner forward or whatever. A lot of times we'll see this at the goal line. There's a pile. So what we have here, we have a pile, run up the middle, and we see guys in the back actually pushing the pile. This is not what we would want to call as assisting the runner. You really want to have clear physical contact on that runner. An offensive player really behind them and pushing them forward. In the middle of the pile, pushing the pile forward. That's not really what we want to call. So as you see, there's a runner right there. It's hard to tell if anyone's really pushing him in the back, pushing him forward. We see guys pushing the pile forward, but not the actual runner. So, a situation like this, you probably want to hold off on throwing assisting the runner. I think by throwing that flag, you're causing more trouble than is worth there. Alright, let's watch this guy at the top of the screen. Now, to me, this is deception. I think this is clearly meant to deceive the defense. I understand there's probably some doubt to that. At the very least, you should have an illegal formation because he did not start inside the numbers. So at the very least, you have a legal formation. But I believe we were taught all camp, plays like this is deception. So this will be illegal participation, 15 yards. One reason I think this is deception is because you can see the coach is kind of holding him on. It looks like he's holding on to right before the snap, and then he lets go. So at the very least, you have a legal formation on this play. But if it were me, I think you throw legal participation because to me that's deception. All right, here's a play that kind of made the YouTube highlights. I'm going to show you the huddle film. This is rule to catch. And I will say I do like that the official waited until he went up. Positioning is not awful. He does try to stop before he makes the call. Ideally, we would like you to already be at the goal line waiting on this play to develop. But full speed, it looks like he trapped it. And then now let's slow it down. Then you can see he does not really have great control of the ball. And that would be, then you see it kind of squirts out right there. Right there. So this should be a no catch. But I understand full speed. Even full speed, you still see it squirt out there. Full speed is a lot harder. We had the benefit of slowing this thing down. But this is a no catch. But tough play at full speed. Here's another one of those. It's tough play. I believe defense wants a fumble on this. And it's this is a hard, right up the middle, crew of 6. You're going to be hard pressed to really have good eyes on this. Even a crew of 7, your back judge is standing there at the goal line. I think he's even going to have a hard time seeing this. Remember, we showed in the video last week, once his butt hits the ground, the play is over. His butt's on the ground right there. We got a player in the way, so we can't really see what's going on. But he's still got the ball there. It looks like he's still got it there. It's just hard to tell when this happens. And even the end zone view doesn't really tell us too much else. Those jerseys will be illegal in a couple of years, by the way. So it plays over when his butt hits the ground. There, his butt is on the ground. It's hard to tell, I think if he's still got hands on the ball, then you have dual possession and the play's over, and it's not a fumble. It's hard to tell where the ball is when he hits the ground. I don't think it's a clear-cut fumble one way or the other. Crew of 6, this is really hard to pick up, and even a crew of 7, I think you're going to be. I don't think you're going to see it clearly. Let's watch action right in here on the edge here. This is a block below the waist. I know he gets him right at the waist. If there's any doubt, it's a foul. And to me, at the waist, that's still kind of below the waist there. So any doubt there, we're gonna flag it. It's a safety foul. So if you have any doubt one way or the other, it is a flag. So I think it's a good call there. Here the cameraman is going to help you out and really zoom in on the play. Per question here. So this is one of those, he kind of whiffs at it, but there's still contact below the waist, and it still takes this player out of the play illegally. So it's still an illegal block that impedes the defender's progress toward the play. So to me, this is still a foul. Yeah, it is a whiff, but there's still contact, and there's still some pretty good. It still illegally impedes his progress toward the ball. We're also going to have a blindside block right there. Look here, number 39, the white's going to get blocked. Could you go block in the back here? You could. I think a legal blindside block is the clearer of the two fouls. We can argue block in the back because it looks like he's in the side, but it's clearly a blindside block illegally. So I think that's the foul we would go toward. So you would have, if you're officiating this play, you would have a block below the waist. A block below the waist at the 30 by the white team, and then you have an illegal blindside block also at the 30 by the team in black. So you have offset and penalties. And re-kick. Here's another example of blindside block. We've shown a couple of illegal blindside blocks. Remember, we kind of said it does not have to be from the side. The legal blindside block can be in the front. So, watch it right here. This is what we're looking at. That is still an illegal blindside block, even though it's from the front, because the defender's attention is not on the block. And then you have forceful contact, no open hands. So that is still an illegal blindside block. Crew called it. That is a correct call here. Those are fouls that need to be taken out of the game. So good job there. Look at a couple roughing the kickers. Some people say this should be running into. If you're the opposing coach, you're definitely going to think this is running into. Anytime white hats are taught, anytime there's contact like this on that plant leg, we go with roughing, which is what they went with here, I think. And roughing the kicker is the correct call. You're going to make contact with the plant leg like that, you're going to get 15 each time. Here's a more obvious one. I think we can all agree that's roughing. He does not get a piece of the ball. It looks like the ball comes cleanly off. So if he doesn't get a piece of the ball right there and he makes that kind of contact, then we're going to have roughing the kicker. Alright, back to my hometown here. This is one of those obvious ones too. We like the obvious plays. That is an obvious late hit out of bounds. There's no way around that one. You slow it down. He's out of bounds before he even starts the initial charge there. So he had time to let up. And plus you're in enemy territory, opposite team's bench. So this is going to be late hit every time. So good call here. Good job of picking that up. So the question here is this intentional grounding? And I'm going with no. So we have a eligible receiver-ish in the area. And remember what we've said before, if the quarterback is in the grass or in the middle of being tackled, like right here, we're going to give them some benefit of the doubt. These are high school quarterbacks. These are not D1 5-star athletes. Some of their accuracy throwing is a little hit and miss as it is. So they're in the process of being tackled. We give them a little more leniency. So here, now, was he purposely trying to throw that out of bounds? Probably. But again, he's in the middle of being tackled. There's a receiver near-ish in the area. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. So this one, we're not sure exactly where the ball ends up because of the great camera work. But I just want to use this as a talking point. So the intentional grounding is under the illegal forward pass area of the rule book. So there is typically the conception that it has to be a forward pass or to be intentional grounding. That's not necessarily the case. If the ball is thrown backwards and out of bounds, then that's legal. But if it's thrown backwards and doesn't make it out of bounds, you can still have intentional grounding. So we have a ball here that probably goes backwards. It's hard to tell for sure. It probably goes backwards. And it looks like they're running toward us. So it's hard to tell if it went out of bounds or not. But if it went out of bounds, this is a legal throw. If it not go out of bounds, then it is intentional grounding and a fumble. So if they don't recover it, then B's probably going to decline it. If they do recover it, then B can take the penalty. So again, like I said, with the camera here, it's hard to tell exactly where this ball goes. But if it went out of bounds, then we would not have a flag. All right, if you can watch these couple of clips without getting motion sickness. This tackle here, it looks bad, but that's a legal tackle. There's nothing against the rules about, bulldog tackling like that. So it's not a foul. Helmet comes off, so that player has come out of the game for a play. Also, deeps. This is not our spot. Don't worry about getting the spot here. Be more concerned about keeping these two players separate, which they are, and just forget the spot. That's the wing spot. You get the ball. Couple things here. First of all, we have right here, we're going to have a false start that's missed. A little bit of a holding there. And now deeps, always kind of be aware of where you are on the field. Good job of the cushioning. The cushioning is good. Turning your run's good. I may be a little bit deeper in the white here. But just kind of be aware of where you are. Stop at the goal line and officiate this play correctly. Because where we are here, it's hard for us to have a good look. Thankfully, we have a back judge. Kind of get that inside angle. Which even if we're on the goal line, we're probably not getting that clear look there anyway. But it just looks better to have be right there at the goal line and stop at the goal line and officiate from there. So just kind of know field awareness where you are on the field. Everything else there is good mechanics wise. Reverse mechanics here are a little dicey. Wings here, just take off and go. Don't worry about trying to officiate from right there. Take off and go. The deeps coming behind you are going to take care of that. Let's go back to the beginning of this play. Little bit possible OPI here. It's hard to really, I mean, he gets bumped and run, or he gets bumped right at the line of scrimmage, so you're thinking, okay, nothing really there, but then he doesn't really try to run the route. He really just tries to block that guy out. So probably trying to spring this receiver. Now the ball doesn't go that direction. So, and then you kind of get into the question then of, was he really, is it really worth throwing the flag? And there is some, you kind of want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, we don't want to be so jejune about it. There's your $20 word, jejune, Jejune. Look it up. We don't want to be that about it. So it's a tough situation to be in. You want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but you also, that's probably designed. But again, ball not thrown that way. He's wide open. The receiver just went to the other direction, so probably not going to throw that anyway. And of course, the ball gets picked off. Just something to kind of be aware of. Let me go to the end zone view. So we're going to watch this. We're looking at our left guard. Notice where the defender's lined up. He's lined up head on the center. Quarterback in shotgun. So it is illegal for the guard to block that nose guard below the waist there, because the nose guard is head up on the center. And now if the nose guard is lined up here in the gap, he can block him below the waist legally. Again, the question though is, he doesn't really get good contact. He doesn't take him down. So some may say, well, you really throw there. I think you do, because it's still an illegal block, and it still impedes the defender's progress toward the play. So I think you would still have a flag there for block below the waist. Same game. There, almost the same situation. Different guard, the same situation. See the nose guard's head up on the center. Now that right guard's going to come in and take him out. Good job the umpire getting that. That is clearly block below the waist. So good job there. Look at this action here. That's not much, but I still think we go with a block in the back here. It's still an illegal block. He's still pushing him. It's not that hard safety foul we usually look for a block in the back, but it's still a block in the back that takes that defender out of the play. So I still think you got to call that there. The referee throws it. Maybe that's what he was throwing. I'm not 100% sure. But that would be the deeps call. You need to pick that up. Again, like I said, it's not one of those hard safety fouls we typically look for when we're thinking about blocking the back, but it is an illegal block that takes a defender out of the play. So we'd still want to throw it in that situation. All right, last one. Now remember last week we went through this whole, I kind of went play by play where we lost it down. This situation from this past week, where again we have a crew that potentially lost a down. I think in this situation the box man flipped it a little prematurely. So the crew does the right thing. They get together to discuss it. The problem with this is this looks really, really bad because you have one coach all the way in the crew's discussion here. So now, well, see, you got one coach doing it. So now the other coach thinks he can come out there. Got all these players around. You see the wing official here. He finally gets his coach, recognizes what's going on, gets him back. Really should never got to this situation. If we're going to get together, if you don't have information to bring to the table, your job as official in this kind of crew meeting needs to be to get all these coaches and players back. And even all of you here in the meeting, surely you feel the pressure there of all these players around you. Get them back. Tell them you're not going to talk about anything until these players and coaches are off the field on their sideline. I mean, look at all those. Look at all the defense players. All that staff is on the field. And you got cops out there. So this looks bad. It's a bad situation to look in without even diving into the losing the down thing. It looks bad. And you see, this is on the Federation Network, so people all over can see it. So the takeaway from this is when you get in these crew discussions like this, just make sure these players, coaches are all away from you so you can talk about it without them yelling at you. You can think clearly. Just kind of control the situation there, because this is an example of the game just kind of getting out of hand, and you're only still in the second quarter, so you got a lot of game to go. So there's that. All right, that's going to end it for today. We got it in about 21 minutes. Good luck this week. Stay focused and stay safe.